Hi everyone, welcome back to another podcast with myself and AJ.
We're back.
Hey.
We're back.
How you doing?
All right, as can be. Let's not get that depress everyone. Let's move on.
Right. That's right.
No, I'm all right. I'm all right.
Cool. So we're doing another podcast today. I think this is about the fourth or fifth one now.
Yeah, I'm not counting.
Yeah, everyone seems to be enjoying these and getting a lot of comments.
I just turn up. I don't even know what the subject is until Matt tells me.
Yeah.
I just go in blind. I just turn up.
So today we're going to be talking about packaging. Does it matter or not? And we're going to discuss that today after this little intro.
Okay. See you in 2 minutes.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Oh, that was short.
Yeah.
Your intros usually massive, aren't they? I got my phone out because I was expecting to be able to watch a 10-minute film, 10-minute video or something. But there we go.
Nah, try and keep them a bit shorter these days. But
all right, cool.
Yeah. So packaging, limited editions, steelbooks, digibooks, all this kind of thing. I think obviously we're seeing this quite a lot now. Certainly in the last couple of years, seems to be ramping up. You know, these limited editions. I know the most recent thing, and you actually shared this, is that the Film Vault now are re-releasing the designs on steelbook.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. That's. I don't know what to. I mean, on the one hand, I think. I don't know if is that a kick in the teeth to the people that have bought the Steel Vault sets, or is it an opportunity for those who were priced out of those and those who missed out to kind of get a version of them for a bit of a lesser price. So there's two trains of thought on that. On that, do I see it as a bad thing? No, I don't see it as a. I don't. I think. I don't know. I don't know where I'm sat on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
it's when I go and buy yours again, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, I think it. Whilst you're saying it does allow the people that missed out on the opportunity of the Film Vault sets. I mean, obviously the design, the artwork has been newly commissioned for those. That's what's drawn us to those. Now, those that missed out, obviously, they're going to have the opportunity to buy the steelbook versions. I don't know whether these are going to be a limited run or whether they're just going to be a general sort of release. Is it just one retailer?
I'd like to think that they're being done readily available, rather than trying to cash in again on a limited edition. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's put them out there for so everyone can get one. Right, so that it doesn't, because the minute you go limited edition again, your scalpers jump on it and all this sort of a thing. Inevitably, people will miss out. Just make them readily available for people.
Yeah.
That's what I reckon. But no, the arts, there's some nice art on some of them. They are, and I think the art will translate nicely to a steelbook.
Yeah. And I mean, the image you showed, they're coming with like a slip case as well. Is that right?
That's right, plastic. I don't know how I can't say I paid too much attention to. Yes,
I zoomed in on the Blade Runner edition, which I was fortunate enough to get the film vault of that. It's the only one that I have.
I'm just
Now, obviously,
look.
with that design, the sleeve has
That's got the logo,
the title of the film, doesn't it?
Yeah, the title
Yeah.
of the film comes up.
And I'm guessing
on it,
probably on that slip, there's probably going to be maybe the credits possibly on the back of it, or they may have a J card in there. I don't know.
Yeah. So they're not. They are nice art. I mean, yeah. I mean, even the Shawshank one. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
is nice. That's the
it is.
Scarface and Blade Runner there at the top. I don't know if the others are available yet. I didn't look on the Warner Brother website or anything.
No, I haven't.
Whether or it's just they're just releasing them free to start with, or what, I don't know.
I think the pre-order is next week on those, because I did go and have a look and found like a link, but when it takes you to Zavvi, it just says product not available. So I don't think they're ready. But
so which one will you get, or which ones will you get? Blade Runner again?
No, I won't get Blade Runner again. The Shawshank Redemption is a possibility because, hey, it's my favourite film. I do have 2 editions of it already, but I was impressed by the artwork of the film vaults, because it's that artist Matt Ferguson, isn't it? The guy, he does a lot of sort of artwork for these releases, and it is particularly nice artwork. So yes, I am tempted by the Steelbook because I missed out on the film vault, the big box edition. So yeah, it's a possibility. But again, there's part of me thinking, well, you've already got the 4K. You've got a German Steelbook, which is a really nice Steelbook. That's quite hard to get. And I've also got the HD Zeta Lenticular. That's a really nice set as well.
So
but it is my favourite film.
Yeah, so you've already answered your own question then. Does packaging matter?
To me, it does. Yeah, to me, it does.
There's 2 ways of looking at does packaging matter? Now, because you've got this sort of look up to it, and that you've got 2 directions you're coming at. Obviously, you've got the from the perspective of the companies that are producing this stuff, packaging matters very much to them, and it's like anything, sales of anything, right? It's designed to attract.
Yeah,
you go into a supermarket, the packaging is designed to attract you. That's what it's there for. So from that perspective, packaging matters to them, and from our perspective, I think that anyone who says no, the packaging doesn't matter, is not being true to themselves in a sense, because if you have the same film released, right, whether it's DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, I'm not talking about special editions. Let's say that you release a Blu-ray of a film, and you release 2 versions of it at the same time with different artwork, 2 different choices.
Yeah,
you're going to go for the one that appeals to you most.
Yeah.
So yes, the packaging matters. If you haven't got a choice, then you haven't got a choice. Packaging doesn't matter if you haven't got a choice, because you're stuck with what you're stuck with, and you're buying the film.
Yeah, but there are people, and again, I mean, it's not just about the artwork. It's about you've got different types. You've got the Steelbooks, which they're the way they're designed, they can easily dent, scratch, even rust.
With your toxic fingers only. I just want to say, just to everyone, I've never experienced rusting on my Steelbooks.
No.
I've said this before, Matt's got he's a super villain in the making. I don't know if one day he was, I don't know, did you step on like a rusty nail or something and get a tetanus shot? and now you're developing rust powers.
Yeah.
Where if you anything metallic, it turns to rust. I think there's a character. I think there is a superhero character that can do that.
I'm going to say that it sounds like the
Or
X-Men,
villain.
doesn't it? You know.
Yeah, it's a villainous character. You touch that. That's why you had to used to wear gloves.
Yes.
When you showed your steelbooks back in the day.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Rust.
Yeah.
You could see the rust forming before your eyes in the video.
Yeah. But no, I mean, you know, I have comments on my videos. One of the most recent ones that I did, I picked up this, I won this steelbook Day After Tomorrow on eBay, and you know, it came through, and I did the unboxing live to find that the thing's dented. Now, whether that was in transit of packaging or
I don't mean to laugh.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but
I know. I'm just thinking of your comments, and it's you know it's really it's a good sign of a good seller when they double
yeah.
and then you open it up and it's like a massive dent in it.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, we don't know.
We don't know the ins and outs of it, but
he could have packaged it better, couldn't he? Because it was just in a bubble envelope. Is that correct?
It was, yeah,
with a bit of paper wrapped around it.
Yeah.
Bubble envelope, not good.
So yeah, but you know, I had a few comments. I had one particular comment saying, you know, I stay away from steelbooks for this very reason, that you know they're easily damaged. You know, I would rather go for a digibook or a standard edition, and I can relate to that, because given the choice between a steelbook and a digibook, I would actually probably prefer the digibook, because whilst you know you usually get quite nice artwork on the digibook, certainly on the front, but you also hopefully will get some sort of content, you know, talking about the film, much as with a special edition booklet that you would get in an Arrow release, say. No, it's a combination of the two, and given the choice, I think I actually prefer the digibooks over the steelbooks.
So we don't really get digibooks over here, do we, much now?
Not really, no. It's an occasional thing.
Germany still do them.
They do.
But I wonder why that is. I wonder whether it's just a sort of they didn't take off over here as much, but they more so over there. I don't know.
No, interesting. It is because I mean, you know, like I say, there's some really nice digibook releases, and I do have quite a few. But unfortunately, yeah, the text is in the German language, which I think you can maybe get an app and, you know, sort of translate or whatever. But no, I mean, you know, given the choice, I would say that a digibook is more appealing to me than a steelbook. Although I do like, again, I think with steelbooks now, they've become very generic, certainly in the UK. Not when you look at the premium releases in Korea and China, etc. There seems to be a more effort put into them with debossing, embossing, gloss. The paintwork seems far more premium, whereas a lot of this stuff that we're getting now in the UK, it's a matte finish.
Yeah,
quite thin steel that's used, very easily dented, easily scratched, you know. And like I say, I've experienced these rust spots, black spots on.
Yeah, I think that the you know the thinness of the metal, if they have thinned it out, and the paint and whatever they use, they're probably, cynical side of me says they're going for the cheapest option.
Yeah,
cheapest option to maximise profits, which I understand, because while you've got an ever shrinking market, you need to, you know, try and maximise your profits where you can. So and quality starts taking an impact. Otherwise, you're going to see. I mean, they're dear enough as they are. When steelbooks are coming in at 35 quid a piece, just a standard steelbook, and it's actually cheaper to import from like the EU. Import the same steelbook. You can save 2 or 3 quid on importing us. You know, sometimes 2 or 3 quid. You can. I know that's not a lot, 2 or 3 quid, but do you know what I mean? You can save money on importing them from elsewhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're using the cheapest. But like I said, the steelbooks, like I say, being very generic. I mean, part of that is because the like I've said before, they're not special anymore, are they? Steelbook isn't
No.
a special edition release. It's kind of standard. It's a standard release, almost alongside the Amaray now. You know, you can expect your obligatory steelbook for this film. You know, but then that comes to, like, you know, I mean, you saw that video the other day about, and you watched it more than me, so you can give a bit of insight into this, because I didn't actually sit through the whole video, but that fellow was comparing it to comic books.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. So what was that about with packaging? What was that video saying?
Yeah, he was kind of saying that it sounds like Walmart is really sort of taking hold of the physical media market now, because obviously Best Buy's, you know, removed itself from the market, and they're obviously producing a lot more steelbooks now. But it now would appear that they're actually now going down the variant option, and as you've said in the past, comic books have done this for quite so many years. The variant covers, you know, it's the same comic book, but you've got 2 or 3 different covers, which you can collect depending on, you know, your preference, or collect all. And I think Walmart are certainly now tapping into this. I think they've already done it in the past, and we've seen it with standard releases where they reissue possibly sort of older titles that have not sold, Amaray titles, and they're putting a slip cover on it. You've got the glow in the dark slip covers.
Well, you got them on steelbook as well, haven't you?
What, the glow in the dark?
I'm sure you have. The same designs are on steelbook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'd seen the slip covers for the standard glow in the dark, but that's only in the US. I've not seen it over here yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if, certainly for the horror titles, I could see it quite appealing. You know, a lot of obviously a lot of big sort of horror collectors that, you know, a glow in the dark, you know, sort of image of a particular horror character, you know, would be appealing.
How effective is the glow in the dark though? Because they look, when I've seen those glow in the dark slips or stills under, you know, lit up in the darkness, so to speak, and they look stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, what, you know, it's
a gimmick.
They look crap.
Okay.
But yeah, that's nothing that the comic book industry hasn't done. So, for insight for people watching who don't know, obviously, I've read comics and collected comics from back in the late 80s. And yeah, we've been through all this, you know, metallic covers, holographic covers, lenticular covers, polybagged, sealed with like special stuff inside, you know, cards and whatnots, posters, things like that, glow in the dark comic covers. There's kind of a step back now to the metallic. You're getting more metallic covers again now, or they call them chromium. Well, they used to call them chromium covers, but they're like a metallic finish. And variant covers are now very big, very, very big in comic books. So you have, you know, like you have issue whatever, cover A, cover B, C, D, E, F. You get like, on some you get like 6 covers and stuff.
Yeah.
And you pick what, you know, the artist, do you know what I mean? But that's not, you know, that's not really overly new for physical media, is it?
I was going to say Germany have been doing that, certainly again with the digibooks.
That's right. Yeah.
You've seen like various different covers. I mean,
Yeah.
the barbed wire one that we
Oh, look.
both picked up recently.
If anyone's
Steelbook.
wondering, he's got a lampshade collar on because he had surgery.
Oh right, is he all right?
Yeah, he had to have he had to have the snip because one of his testicles hadn't dropped out. It was up inside him.
Ah,
So
okay.
for medical reasons, he had to have it removed. Otherwise, he would have been possible cancerous.
Oh no, awful.
But there we go. Anyway, sorry, moving on. So you're saying,
yeah, the barbed wire one that we picked up, that very nice release. There were two covers for that. But one that was probably previously available on the Amaray version, and then obviously this newly commissioned art. That very nice release, actually. You know, the steelbook on that was very nice as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. So over here we do get variant covers on some steelbooks, but it's generally you have a Zavvi exclusive, you have a HMV exclusive, you have an Amazon exclusive. Yeah. So you do get those variant covers, but you have to go to a different source to get them.
Yeah.
But you know, more recently, Amazon Germany, obviously, I show you've got free Kong Godzilla, the new Godzilla Kong film. You got 3 options there.
Yeah,
the one that we have over here that's available, that purpley one where he's wearing the gold gauntlet. Kong's wearing that gold gauntlet, and then you have the other 2 shared with you. So, and they're all available from Amazon. So you've got that there. At the moment, it's not a case for us over here that you have the different covers side by side on the shelf, so to speak. That's when it's be like,
Yeah, Amazon Italy have been doing that as well I've noticed in the last sort of year. They're releasing 2 or 3 different steelbook designs. I did it with Blue Beetle. They did 2 designs for that. Yeah. And I think June, there's 2 or 3 different designs in June Part 2 that's coming out. There's 2 or 3 different designs for that. So, yeah, I mean, obviously it sounds like Walmart is going to be doing this as well. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me that you're going to start seeing that Zavvi and possibly HMV doing it. I mean, I know HMV are doing this sort of, and I think they've done it with this biopic on who's the singer that died? I forget her name.
Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse, yeah. There's a cine. I know Jimmy Boy's movies. He did a little video on the release. I think there's a cine edition, and then there's a steelbook edition.
Yeah.
Possibly with different artwork. So again, whilst it's not say just 2 steelbooks with the same artwork, what they're doing is they're doing a cine edition, maybe with a booklet or art cards or whatever, and then the steelbook with a different design. I don't know. I haven't really looked into that, but yeah. So maybe we could see that now with the Zavvi. Certainly, as you know, they've always sort of pumped out the steelbook releases. Are we going to start seeing sort of cover A and cover B?
Yeah, see, it's a very clever marketing tool ploy, and I mean, I can envisage certain channels Blu-ray hunting now where they go to a HMV and you've got potentially, if you've got 3 releases of the same film on steelbook or even slipcover with different art, and they go into that HMV and there's only 2 of them on show, there's only 2 of them they've got. I can just imagine this need by these channels frenzy to have to go to the other HMVs to try and find that one, and in turn buying several of them for that reason.
Yeah. Because, and again, do you think the manufacturers are crafty in say for example, there's 3 designs of a steelbook of a particular film. Take for example Dune Part 2, right? So they, just for argument's sake, they release 2,000 copies of cover A, 2,000 copies of cover B, but they only release 1,000 copies of cover C.
Yes, I was gonna say that, because that's something that's done in that's already a ploy that's used in when you collect, or back in the day when they used to do trading cards and things like that. You used to buy them in the packet, or Kinder toys, things like that. You have or the little Lego, like when I was getting the Marvel Lego men, right? You'd have ones that inevitably were harder, to get than the others, to keep you trying to
Engaged.
get. And I know that there's a difference here in that those are sealed and you can't see what you're buying, but there's certainly a when it comes to the variant covers on comic books, another thing that they do is they do like a 1 in 25 or a 1 in 50 or a 1 in 100 cover. So for every 100 issues or 25 issues that are printed of the standard cover, whatever the number may be, you've got one of them. So we're going to print 25 of them, but there's one of these.
Yeah.
We're going to print 50 of these, and this is a 1 in 50. So for every 50 of them, there's one of them, or for every 100 of them that were printed, there's one of them that was printed. And they obviously command a higher price because they're rarer. It'll be interesting to see if that kind of a tactic is used as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could look at it that this is keeping physical media alive, because it's keeping the interest there. It's, creating a buzz and excitement for collectors to seek out these things. The only downside to it is that they, certainly Zavvi, tend to almost get like excited by this and almost then just flood the market with so much of this stuff that actually then us as collectors kind of get a bit sort of fed up with it, and you're like, oh, it's just one release. I mean, last year I can remember you saying, it's just literally sort of one release after the next, and you couldn't keep up with it. I don't know whether
last year was terrible.
Yeah.
The special edition releases last year, it was weekly. It felt weekly. And I'll be honest, now that I've changed my habits have shifted, and I'm only really focusing on that which I want rather than and I am questioning the worth of it. Should I buy it? Shouldn't I buy it? Blah blah blah. I'm finding myself kind of ignoring a lot of stuff, which is great. It really is. Yes, but last year felt awful for special editions because, again, like I say, you take the special out of it, and it becomes a chore. It becomes more of a chore collecting than fun.
Yes.
But where does it end? Where does it end? Kind of a question.
Yeah, and like you say, it takes the special out of it. Like back in the day when the steelbooks first came out, I can remember Play.com being an online retailer, now defunct, and they used to produce some really nice editions. I think they used to be about like $9.99 for a Blu-ray edition, fairly reasonable. But they had embossed titles, debossed borders, gloss finishes, and it felt like you were getting something special. But then Zavvi stepped into the market and just flooded it, and you kind of then felt like it just didn't have the same fun to it. That like you say, it almost felt like a bit of a chore that you sort of oh, here we go, here's another release, another re-release. And it, initially when you showed me that yesterday, I was just for the film bar, I just sort of rolled my eyes and thought, oh, here we go again, just another way of sort of re-releasing the same titles. But like you say, people who did miss out have then got the opportunity to maybe pick their favourite film on, and I think that's the key to it. I think you're right. Is it your favourite film? Is it a film that you really want? Because what's the point in collecting all these limited special editions if they're films that you're not really that interested in, and they're just there to just you're almost just ticking a box. Oh, I've got this latest Arrow edition, so I can show this, but you're not necessarily that interested in it
No,
yourself.
that's right. That's exactly what it is. I mean, I found my, just a standard release. I found myself, as you know, I picked up True Lies 4K, and I sent it back and got a refund because I haven't watched the film in about 20 years, right?
Mm.
And then I realised there's a reason why I haven't watched the film in about 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't really like it.
No.
I don't think True Lies is a very good film, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I know. It's the least James Cameron movie, because obviously it's a remake of a foreign film anyway. So it's not James Cameron writing it per se. It's not his original idea. And I don't think it's I think the third act is great. The Harrier jump jet stuff I love. I think that's all brilliant. But I don't think it's an overly good film.
Yeah. And I've heard that the 4K on it is questionable. There's a lot of DNR going on, which it sounds a bit like the Terminator 2 release to me, that it's probably not the best it's ever looked.
Yes. It's very Tom Arnold's face is where Tom Arnold's face was the worst in it. That was where I noticed more than anything. I couldn't stop looking at his face.
Right.
But the DNR it really showed. There's something about him that just looked fake. It doesn't work too bad on Arnie because he kind of looks, I don't know. He's not normal anyway in the way he looks. If that makes sense. That sounds really bad.
No,
But
I know what you mean. Yeah.
There's something.
He's larger than life, isn't he?
Yeah, there's something about him. But Tom Arnold, it really emphasised. He looked like he had pink lipstick on.
Really?
Yeah, the bottom lip just looked really, really pink. Like the makeup, you could really see the makeup they put on him, and he just looked. Something about him that didn't look right. But there we go. But yeah, it's not. I didn't enjoy the film at all.
No, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, we got the premium editions, and I know you delved into the premiums a bit yourself. Is that something you'll continue with for films that you really love, you really want to have in your collection? Is that something, or are you kind of saying now, no, premium editions really are not for me anymore?
When you say premium editions, you're talking about like HD Zeta,
Yeah,
Blue Fans, Weep,
those
kind of
Weep, those.
I would say no. As in, no, I've not finished with them.
Mm.
I would still delve into them, but it has to be. I mean, I was looking last night. I was laid in bed and I scrolled, on eBay, and I was just like, putting in HDZ a week, just seeing what's out there and sort of
Yeah.
But rather than find something that's a decent price, I'll get it because it is a decent price and a special edition.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay more money for an edition that spoke to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or
No,
I really like the film. I like that edition. And that's what I've done with Man of Steel when I bought Man of Steel 1, and that's what I've done with the Jaws Cine Museum one, or whatever you call it. It's got to be a film that is. And I was tempted by that Mother Box thing that I showed you, the Justice League Mother Box, because I saw that for sale, and other people. There's 3 of them. There's 3 of them available, different ones.
Yep.
You've got the Earth one, you've got the Amazonian one, you've got the Atlantis one. Right, so they all look different. And that seller that I showed you, I couldn't see what the content was, so I had to find someone else. And they're really expensive, like I said, limited.
Yeah.
They're HD Zeta. And I was thinking, because obviously I've got the set, haven't I? The big, thick white box that cost me, God knows how much that cost me now, I can't remember. But, you know, and that's got 2 versions in, 2 different steel books, all that. And I was thinking, what's inside this box? You know, could it be that I could get that and then sell on my other one to justify the cost of it, that sort of a thing? And then, you know, I looked at the content of that one. You get one single steel book, which isn't particularly great anyway, just the character stood there. You get like a tin, which is like meant to be a film reel tin, a little film reel tin. And in that specific one, you get badges of the logos, the heroes' logos. And that's it.
Yeah.
Each one has a different content. Like one of them has a steelbook stand in it. And the other one has something else in it. So each one has. So you're going back into that sort of where we just spoke about packaging things with variant covers. That's kind of it there. You've got these 3 mother boxes. The content differs in each one, but there's hardly anything in them. And for the price point that, you know, and that he's selling that for like 165 quid or 160 quid, whatever it is.
Wow.
And that's, when you compare it to other people selling them, it's cheap. But when you look at the content in this box, you're like, no way, I can't justify, you know, that money for that. So no, I'm not
done. The value's not there, is it?
No, I'm not. I would say I'm not done with that. Most definitely, I'd still. But it has to be a film that, yes, I know, a film that speaks to me and wants to, you know. I know. Yeah, good boy.
But he don't like having that on, does he?
He's got used to it. He's had it on for nearly a week now.
Oh, is he?
But he has to. I think he's looking at. Is he looking at the camera? He was. Yeah, he went. I took him back to the vets yesterday. He's got to keep it on for a few more days. Yeah, I know. But yeah, so do you know what I mean? It's yeah, they're playing that variant game there. But packaging, it does certainly matter. It certainly matters, you know, and it certainly it drives sales and it drives interest. I mean, you wouldn't be getting all of these if it didn't matter to people. You wouldn't be getting the constant, you know, oh, here's another Matrix release, here's another Blade Runner release,
yeah.
Another whatever film release that then goes on and people buy that have bought the others. So I think because, like I said, it's a niche. Again, it's a niche marketplace. It's become more and more niche film buying, and the people you've got left are the collectors, are the people that are, you know, they're there till the end.
Yeah.
So they will buy pretty much whatever's given to them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've heard it sort of quite a bit. You know, it's people saying, yeah, but it should be first and foremost about the film. And yeah, I totally agree that it ultimately it should be about the film. However, because your love of that film, and this is my take on it, is if it's a film that you like or you love and you want it to be in your collection, you're going to seek out probably the edition that speaks to you the best, whether that's the artwork, whether it's got a booklet in it that tells you about the production, an edition with special features on, you know, commentary, director's commentary, all these kind of things that you wouldn't necessarily get with a digital version or find it on a streaming site, because often with the streaming sites you're just getting the film and that's it. But I won't go into streaming because we've got another podcast about that, which I think is either today or coming up in a couple of weeks. So, but yeah,
I think you know that comment it should be about the film. I mean, that can be taken in a couple of ways. number one, yeah, it should be about the film, so I don't care about the packaging because I've got it for the film. But if, like you say, it is a film that you love and you adore, then with the packaging and you buying several versions of it, it's still about the film for you.
Yes.
Because it's your film. It's that film that you love and adore, and so you're happy to buy it again, several versions, and you can't take that away from me. It is when it's not about the film, is when okay, argument's sake, this Amy Winehouse, one that you mentioned earlier, that's just come up for pre-order. The E edition from HMV, E-City edition, what they call it. Now I'm not. I don't listen to Amy Winehouse music. I don't really know much about her life. I've not followed her as a musician. I've got really little to no interest in her story.
Yeah.
As tragic as what happened to her is, do you know what I mean? I've got no. It doesn't interest me.
No.
Right, a couple of her songs have come on the radio, and I think, oh, that was an okay song. Now, if I went and pre-ordered that now, because it's a Cine E edition, it's not about the film.
Exactly.
Not pre-ordered it because of the film.
No.
I've pre-ordered it because it is a Cine E edition. Or less, and that's where you step into that fear of missing out, because that's that might be sold out. That might be then selling on eBay for double what it is now that I can get it for. So let's get it just in case that was to occur. And it's not even a film that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
That's when.
Or you've not even seen it. You're pre-ordering it just because it's, like you say, it's a special edition with nice packaging.
That's right. Yes, and that's different than blind buying. If I wanted to blind buy the film to see the film, then I would just buy. I'd like to say I'd just buy the Blu-ray, standard Blu-ray release, not a special edition release.
No.
Because when you're saying, oh well, I'm a blind buyer, but I'm blind buying an edition that's costing me 3 times the amount that just a standard edition would. It's not. You're buying it for another reason. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because your fear of missing out is kicking into play.
Yes. Yeah. And I think we're all guilty. We've all done it. But it's recognizing, I think, it's easily, like you say, that the marketing behind it, the packaging, the design, the art cards and all this, it's all designed to say, oh, look at me, this is a really nice edition. Come and buy me, sort of thing, when maybe you haven't even watched the film. And for me, I know a little bit about music and stuff, and I'm interested to watch it maybe as a stream or something, but yeah, it's not something that I would want to go and immediately pick up on physical media, unless I watch it and think, this is absolutely fantastic, then yes, okay, you can then say, right, I'm now in a position, I enjoyed this film, it spoke to me, I want to then find the edition that I really like. But yeah, this kind of marketing that they're doing now, it's almost like, well, buy me now, with all this extra stuff in, before we've even seen the film.
Well, it's interesting because when it comes down to marketing, these films are available to buy, to pre-order at the point of the film even hitting the cinema.
Yes.
So and I think I'm guilty of this. I will pre-order. Let's just say, for argument's sake, okay, Godzilla Kong, right? I'm going to get a steelbook for it inevitably, unless I really dislike the film. But anyway, so I've pre-ordered the steelbooks. Each one
for the new one.
Yeah,
for
because
the
I
new
don't know what steelbook I want.
Yeah.
So I pre-order as a placeholder, essentially, like the ones that I showed on it to Italy, or whether it was it Italy or Germany, I don't know. But anyway, the ones that I showed you, I've pre-ordered each one. Not that
Yeah.
I intend to get each one, I don't, but I don't know which one I want. So let's placehold each one, and then let's make a decision further down the line, and get rid of the two that I don't that I decide against. And keep
Yeah.
that
However, are you doing that partly because of fear of missing out? That in case some of the one or two of those may sell out before it's released?
I suppose kind of, in a
Mm,
sense, that comes into play, but it's more driven by not knowing which one to go
yeah.
for at this jump. Because it's happened a few times, and it's generally when neither of them speak to me.
Yeah.
Neither of them stand out as a wow. Yes, I've got to get that one. I've got to get that one. That one's really nice. It's more rather than fear of missing out, like, oh, one of these might sell out. It's more a case of I don't know what one to go for.
Yeah.
To be honest, they're not the greatest.
No, I must admit, none of the designs have appealed to me, and to be honest, from the footage that I've seen, even the film, I'm not that excited to see the film. To be honest, I don't know, the CGI that I've seen just seems to, I don't know, it just looks rubbish.
Yeah, look, yes, CGI's definitely taken a back step.
Yeah, it's a shame, but I mean, yeah, obviously we've got coming up, I think it's in May, The Crow steelbook. Now, I do love that film, and I do have 2 steelbooks of that already on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But again, you had the 2 different versions of the steelbook, certainly within the UK. I think pretty much everywhere, to be honest. I had to make the decision which one I wanted to go for. Now, I've actually gone for the Zavvi one because for an extra couple of quid, I think you're getting a poster and maybe some art cards or something.
See, I actually prefer the other one. I prefer the art design on the other.
However, if you go, I think you go onto Italy, Amazon Italy, the one with the poster and the art cards is also available in the other design.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. If you have a look on Amazon Italy, well, I don't know whether it's sold out now, but they were both. I think both designs with the poster and that you've got on the Zavvi, because in the UK we're only getting it through Zavvi, not Amazon. Amazon have got the other design, I think it is. So yeah. Can't really think of a lot else to sort of cover on this now. I think we've pretty much exhausted it. I think. So we'll put it over to the audience now. What do you think about this subject? Yeah, stick down in the comments what you think about this. Does physical media packaging matter to you? Do you like to seek out these steelbooks or the limited collector's editions, or are you just happy with the standard Amaray?
Yeah, does it not matter? Does it not matter at all to you?
Absolutely.
But then ask yourself, like I said, if you had a choice of 2, you'd definitely pick the one that speaks to you the most. If you had 2 items on the shelf, you went in to buy a film, ask yourself this question. You go into a shop to buy a film, you've got 2 versions there, whether it's just standard Amaray, whatever, same price point. Do you care which one you pick up, or would you pick up the one that you think's the best?
Yep. Cool. Right. Well, thanks ever so much for joining me again today. Stay tuned for next time. We'll do another podcast. Some more subjects to talk about, and we'll see you next time round. Trying to do these every 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, cool. See you later.
Take care now. Bye.